My daughter thought she had the perfect plan. She took my entire Social Security check, left me with nothing but a pantry full of dust, and flew off to a luxury spa in the Bahamas, expecting me to be starving and broken by the time she returned. She came back 2 weeks later, sun-kissed, laughing, and ready to put me into a state-run nursing home to claim my house. But when she walked into the kitchen to demand dinner, she didn't find me begging. She opened the refrigerator, and the sight that met her eyes made her scream in pure, unadulterated horror. She realized in that 1 second that she hadn't just lost a meal, she had lost everything. The front door had slammed shut 2 weeks ago, but the scent of Chloe's expensive perfume still hung in the air like a taunt. I, Eleanor, stood in the center of the old Victorian home I'd kept pristine for years. My back ached from decades of working as a seamstress, but my stomach ached worse. Chloe had left with my card, sneering, "Eat your oatmeal, Mom. A little fasting is good for your age." She wanted me weak. She wanted me compliant. She didn't realize that hunger is the sharpest teacher. I went to her room looking for a stray dollar and found a folder buried under a stack of fashion magazines. My heart stopped. It was a brochure for Sunny Meadows, a notoriously grim nursing facility, and a power of attorney document pre-filled with her name. She wasn't just a selfish daughter, she was a predator planning to strip me of my dignity before I even drew my last breath. That night, the house felt different. It wasn't a home, it was a museum of items I had been forced to protect. The silver, the antique grandfather clock, the rare paintings, all of it meant for her future. I called Mr. Sterling, a local antique dealer I'd seen in the paper. At 9 a.m. the next day, his truck arrived. We didn't talk about sentimental value, we talked about market prices. One by one, the treasures that defined my life were carried out. With every piece of furniture that left, the house felt lighter, cleaner, and finally mine. I took the stack of cash to the most expensive gourmet market in the city. I bought things that would have made Chloe turn pale: beluga caviar, truffles, aged Parmesan, vintage champagne, and exotic fruits. I returned home and spent the next few days not in the kitchen, but in the living room, setting the table with my best porcelain, eating like a queen in my own castle. 2 weeks later, the key turned in the lock. Chloe walked in, her skin glowing from the Caribbean sun, already complaining about the garbage food on the plane. She marched to the kitchen shouting, "Mom, I'm starving. I hope you didn't touch my savings." She grabbed the handle of the refrigerator and yanked it open with force. She didn't find cold porridge. She found a fortress of luxury: stacks of blue tins of caviar, rows of vintage champagne, and delicacies that cost more than a month's rent. She stood there, mouth agape, as the reality hit her. She looked at the living room, the empty walls, the bare floors, and the horror washed over her. "Where is the clock? Where is the silver?" she shrieked. I sat at the table, sipping my Darjeeling tea, and looked at her with calm, steady eyes. "I ate it, Chloe. Every piece of history I saved for you, I ate. It was delicious." When she tried to call 911 claiming I was mentally ill, Mr. Sterling appeared with the legal documents, notarized contracts proving I was of sound mind. I handed her the Sunny Meadows brochure. "You were so worried about where I'd spend my old age. Keep it. You'll need it soon, because you're leaving today. I changed the locks." She left, screaming threats, but they didn't touch me. The house was finally quiet, filled with the scent of fresh lilies and freedom. I realized then that my life wasn't a museum for her benefit. It belonged to me. And as I sat on my balcony, watching the sunset with a glass of champagne in hand, I knew that for the first time in 60 years, I was truly, completely free.